welcome back to Exorcast. It's been like 42 weeks since we recorded, and we are going to talk about some fucking killer pants.
Killer pants.
I mean, we live in a world where we've seen killer rabbits and killer tires,
Killer
dolls.
dolls.
Yeah, so I mean, why not pants, right? It's the next step. It's logical.
I mean, I was trying to think at some point off the top of my head, and I came up with killer bed, killer
Death bed.
tire.
The bed that eats.
What about the killer sofa?
See, that one I don't know. I know killer bra.
I've seen the killer sofa one. It's terrible.
I know killer bra exists. We've reviewed killer lamp, killer clock, killer.
Well, if anybody out there is interested in the killer sofa, it's on YouTube. So,
Well,
good 70 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
just so everyone's clear, this was James's pick.
Yeah, because usually these movies. Here's the thing about anything that we're discussing of this nature: killer pant, killer tire, whatever. Any of these movies, whether they're good or bad, they certainly are a fucking trip to talk about.
This is true.
That's why I wanted to do it.
So the movie is called Slaxx, like your grandmother would call your jeans. Slaxx.
But it's edgy, so it's spelled Slaxx.
Slaxx. Okay. Who wants to tackle this one?
Okay, so somewhere off in the land of India, they're using Indians to pick cotton for these new state-of-the-art pants that a Canadian company is making. But it is the experimental field. So as you can imagine, bad things have happened. Flash forward, and it's time for these pants to hit the market.
Now, these pants are sustainable, environmentally friendly.
They
that's the whole idea.
waste.
Yeah.
But they're alive, so. And they're holding a grudge.
I think that honestly covers it probably pretty well. In terms of not spoiling anything, yeah.
What was the what was this company called? Like Cotton
CCC.
Yeah, CCC.
Canadian Cotton Company or something, right?
Yeah.
Fucking hell! Why do I not remember? So to be clear, it has been quite a while since we recorded. But considering my opinions on this movie, I don't know why I don't remember the answer to that question.
Well, I just finished this movie about 25 minutes ago, so it's still fresh.
I had a feeling, and that's fine. Canadian Cotton Clothiers.
You're close, Chuck.
Very close, actually.
You got this new girl. She loves the company. She's got her dream job. She's going to go work for them. It's her first night. And right off the bat, you realize that most of these people here are not very friendly people, especially the manager, who's a bit of a douchebag. I forgot his name. What with the headset in the whole time?
They've all got headsets in. This is like
the main guy though.
Craig.
This is like a douchier American Eagle company.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing is, of all of us, I know W has sold cell phones.
I was a system manager for Hot Topic for 6 years.
There you go. Yeah, okay. I sold GameStop. I did GameStop.
I worked at a Walmart.
In various
for like a day.
Worked at a Walmart. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that at the very least, if there's anything that can be said about this movie, the concept of like a reset or a like changeover of product to rebuild something, and the fact that everybody fucking hates it, that's not far off our target. That is, I should say.
I fucking hated overnight floor sets.
The thing was, I used to work with my wife a little bit at Bath and Body Works as well, and they, for all they do wrong and all their stupidity, they did one thing right, which was they did what was in this movie, which is you call in like 10 people and you reset the store. GameStop goes, here's a big box like this size with like papers and posters and shit in it. Here's a booklet of like 40 pages of what you're supposed to do. Now, we're not going to give you any more hours for it, though. So just figure it out yourselves and don't go into overtime, basically.
Sounds about right.
Well, that's why GameStop is going out of business.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that. But yeah, that's one thing that can be said about this is, yeah. But yeah, like, she shows up. I couldn't tell you how old she's supposed to be. I would say maybe the character's supposed to be 17, 18.
Yeah.
In this movie?
In this movie. The character.
I don't know. I felt like I don't know. I didn't. It didn't really come across to me like she was that young. Like I thought she's at least 20s. You know, like
I
even
think it was going for something but didn't get there. That's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you. I think she looked in her 20s, but the level of, oh my god, I really want to work here.
Mhm.
That's way too old for that.
Well, what got me though was like when she bought the clothes when they told her she wasn't wearing like the new style, so she had to get some new clothes. I don't know any 17-year-olds offhand that could just say, "Here's a card for $170 something," you know, for what she paid for the outfit.
That's also
The
true.
wife used to work at Express, and every time an Express ad, because of Facebook algorithms, goes across her page, we literally will, before we open it, we will like kind of bet each other how much money the random pair of pants and or sweater costs. You'll never go over. You'll never be too expensive. That's just how it works.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if she's going to work, how the hell does she have what basically probably amounts to $200 for one outfit of clothing for the night? You know?
There was an odd vibe with this movie. Like I don't know if it was kind of going for like a quirky feel, or if that's just kind of like how it came to be. Like there's odd close-ups, like when when he sends her to find the first two people that end up missing. You know, it's kind of like weird back and forth point of view shot. It just seems like they're kind of going for like a weird vibe with it, you know, off the cuff. Which I mean, it's a movie about killer pants, so why wouldn't you go for a weird vibe with it? You know, it's got an odd vibe to it. And I don't know if this guy's directed anything, guy, girl, whoever made it. I don't know if they made anything else, but I just wonder if that was like just exclusive to this particular movie, or if this is like the style this person does.
She made computer support for The Greatest Game Ever Played, assistant to Tony Goldwyn when he directed The Last Kiss, appeared in a particular documentary. But she made Naughty Socks. Apparently, she likes to make it's a TV show. Apparently, she likes to make things that have lots of X's in the last word. A movie called Graveyard Alive: A Zombie Nurse in Love. A short film called Beyond the Pearly Gates of Ill Repute. A movie called Go in the Wilderness. And this.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that all of her stuff is a little weird like this.
Possible.
Just going by the titles. Going by the titles at least.
She's Canadian, for the record. Just not that it matters.
Oh,
but, yeah.
Canadians? Canadians are great.
Hence why Canadian cotton clothing ears.
Canadian horror movie directors seem to be pretty creative. I've noticed that. Going by Astron 6 and this, and of course countless other people that are Canadian that I can't think of at the moment. Wasn't Cronenberg, wasn't he Canadian?
Yes.
Or am I wrong? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chuck. Yes.
Yep.
David.
There we go.
Canadian.
I know some of my stuff. But one thing about this movie I'll give it credit. It at least did the gore right.
Yeah. There was a decent amount of gore in this.
Decent amount of gore. Creative. I mean, you got to be creative if you got pants killing people.
I'm holding back heavily here, just throwing that out there.
I didn't care for really none of the characters. Even our main girl, I didn't care for. Didn't really feel anything for her.
I don't know. I liked, like, my favorite part of this movie was not the fucking killer pants. It was literally the dialogue between the characters that all work together, all fucking hate one another, because it just felt right.
That's the thing. That's the only thing I will say is it nails the feel, at least on some level, of just how soul-crushing and annoying it is to work in retail. That's the one thing it gets in spades perfectly. And I'm going to be honest and say I don't love the dialogue all the time, but that was probably the thing that made it easiest to watch the movie, was just that aspect.
Yeah, and it might not have been the dialogue, but it was just the interactions between everybody.
Yes.
Because everybody fucking hates one another. Like, literally everybody hates one another. And they all love working for this company, and they all love the clothes, and they're all so fucking self-absorbed and wrapped up in the ecosystem that this company has. But I don't know. And that is like the biggest fucking store in a mall I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't look like a standalone store.
With the highest tech lock system I've ever seen in my entire life.
Very big storage area.
Yeah.
Very big storage area.
Yeah, don't listen to this. That's the one thing this movie doesn't get. One of the many things this movie doesn't get right is that is not as big as a back room as any store I've ever seen.
I'll be honest with you, considering the fact last week I was backstage I was in the back at a Walmart. It looks about the same size as the Walmart I was back at.
But Walmart is a standalone store.
Correct.
I know. I know, but like this store here in the mall has a back area that's the same size as a Walmart back area.
See, like
Good.
our mall here, the Bath and Body Works, literally has 2 stores. They have a store that is closed off that they use for their back room because they have so much fucking product.
Yeah, as I said, so you have to have a mall that's willing to work with that, because in our experience, the mall my wife worked at in Jersey, you had your Bath and Body Works, and then if you actually were doing something like needing to get product that wasn't in the back, such space that they had, you had to get a cart and then go through the labyrinthine tunnels and mazes behind and through the mall to where the storage rooms were for all the different stores. Go to the storage room, which still ain't that big, really, but is longer, and then has tons of shelving, and then climb without any real supervision to get whatever large box you need to get down. So the aspect, one of the things that is real in this movie is the idea of you have to like go way far back to get somewhere, but the movie doesn't necessarily make it seem like you're actually leaving the grounds of the store, and which is more what you'd probably do.
Like our back room at Hot Topic was a room, I would say 8 feet wide, 12, 15 feet long, and then you have the bathroom, and then we had a space over top of the bathroom that you could store stuff. But it was literally just like slat walls, floor to ceiling, with pegs and bags of shit hanging in them all.
The one I mentioned that was the Bath and Body Works one was when I worked at the GameStop in the mall. Our back room door didn't lock, for one thing, which was an open secret of the employees that we hoped no one ever really thought about, because literally it was a walking attempt at being able to be stolen from. But the back room itself was probably, I'd go with about the same size as yours, except they also had like a shelf in the middle that divided it in half. So it was probably even smaller than that. And like the mall store was very, very high volume. So you'd still get a shit ton of boxes at certain times a year and have to figure out how to put them in there and climb over and around them to get to like the back room computer to do shit.
Well, the more I think about backstage areas and all this stuff when it comes to storage areas, whatnot, the more I just get on board to the fact that they need to make a remake of Intruder inside of a Walmart-sized store these days.
I think Chuck continues to create ideas just now that he should just make himself instead of giving out for free on the internet.
Well, the
get
problem
in
is,
get a job at Walmart, get in good.
And then how good you'd have to get in. I mean, hey, they close at 11 now, so at least there's an excuse for people being trapped in the store all night, getting killed off at a big Walmart. At least, unlike Intruder, and I love Intruder, it's one of my favorite slashers ever. But there's no reason why those people should have been getting killed and nobody know it to the last minute, because that store wasn't that big.
Right. Not wrong.
And in a Walmart though, whew.
If a guy
so many places that had bodies.
They only have like 10 people after hours.
Mm-hmm. I can make an entire movie in Disney. Okay, without anybody noticing it. Without anybody noticing it.
I still have that movie, by the way. I'm looking at it right now. Escape from Tomorrow. Yeah, I thought it sucked, but
a lot of people kind of think that they thought it was overrated. But from what I've heard, I just know it happened.
But, I know what it is, and I know how he made it, but I've never seen it. I've never really had an interest in watching it.
Well, if you do, I'd sell you a copy of it if you was interested. It's out of print.
But yeah, like the thing for me about the movie is the gore is good. What there is and where it shows up is good. And I'll also say that even if it's a little cartoonishly over the top, I've had that manager before.
Oh well.
On some level, like
I've known that manager. I've never had that manager, but I've known that manager.
We've known that guy exactly. And so, like I said, that aspect is fine. But if that was all the movie was trying to do, I'd probably like it. Instead, this is literally the filmmaker kind of decided that she wanted to make a movie in which she skewered capitalism, sweatshops, Indian prejudice, eating disorders. I mean, I'm even going to throw that in there, even though technically all they do with that is have a single line and there's nothing about it. But I've seen it mentioned in reviews that it discusses that. So I'm just going to say, sure, they mentioned eating disorders once. Influencer culture, sustainability, and organicness of things. You know, all of this stuff at one time in one movie, and they're trying to throw it all in there together. And a little of it works, but most of it just really didn't for me.
Well, you can't take it serious. You can't take it serious because why would a killer pair of Indian pants stop and do an Indian Bollywood dance?
That's Bollywood kind of music. Actually well, that's kind of where I'm getting at is
Indians just have to dance when they hear Bollywood music. Is that what?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a point you're actually making my point for me, because I would agree with you if the movie maker didn't go out of their way to have that one character who basically sits there and goes, just because I'm Indian, you think I'm supposed to do this. Just because you think I'm Indian. Like, the line where she goes, there's so many freaking dialects, you think I'm going to know it? And, of course, the pants know it. It feels like she's trying to, like, say something about stereotyping and then stereotyping. So yeah. I don't disagree with you. You know, we're trying to take a movie about killer pants seriously. I don't disagree with you on that. At the same time, you can't have it both ways on that kind of thing. Like, if you're trying to stick a satire one way or another.
I didn't even put two and two together to get that, because I was just so like, what the fuck am I watching through this whole thing?
Yeah.
Is it not kind of low key racist to have the pants take a break from the killing?
It's a high key racist.
Okay, I'm just wondering if I wasn't.
That's the point I'm making. Like the thing is, if you wanted to leave the line where she's like, "Oh, you think it'll understand me? There's so many dialects," and leave it at that, and not have her talk to the pants, and instead just have the pants do what they do in the movie with the blood, that would have been fine. But no, you have to have the pants understand her. She just said it. Like it is. Was it trying to be? No, but it is, you know? Like, to say nothing of the whole reason the pants are taking revenge. I would say that's probably more the low-key racist thing. You know, the reason why they're taking revenge, the whole impetus for everything. That's a little bit of a racist death, shall we say?
But I'm willing to forgive it for all of its misfortunes, because I was highly entertained by the kills, and I like gore. Had a lot of gore. I mean, literally, we had blood splashing on the walls at different times in this movie. Character-wise, I guess I don't really care much for any of the characters, even our main girl, you know, which I know they tried to make her likable, but I don't know. Something about her decision.
The thing with that, like you're saying, yeah, I agree. Because, like, they tried to make her likable, but there's a point where you can be likable or you can be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And they really have problems with that balance. Because, like, the manager, we talked about, we know that manager, even then, he's still extreme.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, none of us know a manager that would cover up a body. You know, like,
that's true.
We're on a somewhat trauma level here, a little bit.
I would agree with that, actually.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I know when we get to the finale, which we're jumping ahead here, but I ain't going to spoil anything. But what leads to what happens at the very end, I seen that coming from a mile away. You know, with what happens at the end.
Yeah.
Especially if you know anything about retail sales, you know where that's going. But at least it's only like 77 minutes long, so it's not too long to overstay its welcome.
I would agree with that. Like, there are movies we've watched for this that I've liked more than this, that I've also been like, how much longer is left in this? More often than I was with this.
They were smart enough to come in, do what they're going to do, and get out. They didn't try to linger around, make it 80 minutes like everybody wants to go 80 minutes or 90 minutes these days.
Yeah, the length didn't bother me. Like, I didn't pause it to see how much longer there was, anything like that. I discovered these things called Takis that are like hot little chips.
They've been out for 100 years, brother.
Oh yeah, there's tons of flavors. They make blue ones now.
Yeah.
Blue has the most antioxidants. So, but Yeah, so I was just sitting on the
That's
couch
funny.
eating those fucking hot Takis with my dog, and we were just going back and forth because he eats hot stuff with me.
Oh wow!
And then probably tears my yard up, but
but if this thing was longer than what it is, it probably would have been unbearable. But because it's not, it kind of stays in lane. I think it's. I'm more lenient toward it. I'm more forgiving toward it too. So I enjoyed it.
I think if they wouldn't have been so, like, all the characters been so bizarre, and if it would have taken itself more seriously, it would have been way worse than it actually is.
Yeah.
And by no means that I like this movie.
Right.
I feel like they were like, well, okay, look, at the core of everything, we are making a movie about a killer pair of pants, so ham it up, probably. Let's be awkward, let's ham it up.
This was definitely better than Deathbed.
Yeah, it's way
that
better.
Is a low bar, man.
And it's better.
And I honestly don't know if I'd agree with you on that personally, but
Deathbed, just you have to sit on the bed to die, though. You know.
And like it takes forever to digest you, so it's like, why don't you just get up and go?
Chuck. It can eat chicken.
What? Yeah, it could. I saw that Blu-ray when it came out. I've not watched it since the one time I watched it when I got the Blu-ray of it.
It is better than Deathbed, to be fair.
And better than Killer Sofa. Now I will say that again if anybody's out there.
How about Death Spa? Is it better than Death Spa?
Oh God, no! Death Spa's amazing.
No, I ain't gonna put it over there.
Bitch, you kidding me? That movie's a excellent movie.
It's not as it may not be as good as Grizzly, which I did watch last night. So even though that just
its own issues.
Just comparison to stuff I've seen recently.
I was going to say, but that's not a killer inanimate object.
I would say it's
a 15-foot tall bear. Okay.
I would say it's worse than Rubber because the last half of Rubber is bullshit and terrible for me. The entire last half.
It's probably better than Rubber.
I will say I don't know if
it's more enjoyable than Rubber.
Have y'all seen Carousel, about the carousel animal that goes on a killing spree? That's pretty good. I don't know if it's better than that. That's got like a sex scene, I think, with Haley J. Madison, like having sex with it. I think, or maybe I'm wrong. I know she's in it. She's definitely in it. I think she gets nude, but it's a good movie. You gotta watch that. It's Wild Eye.
She's a nice girl.
Of course, Wild Eye. Yeah. Sure.
I don't know her, so
I do. I've never seen. She's nice.
I've never seen Killer Condom. I don't know if it's better than that.
Didn't James Beckard write that?
I don't think so. No. It was like German.
He wrote some.
Do you have to be eating right now?
Maybe not. No.
You brought up Taki.
He's been eating the whole time.
I know.
These are my fruit bites. These are my fruit bites. Okay. Look here, give me a break. I've had a rough couple weeks. All right.
We got you.
You're lucky I'm here.
Oh. You ain't got nothing else to do.
In general. A little dark humor for today.
Damn, Chuck.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't have anything better to do. So yeah, look at hippies, I guess.
But now for me, like you mentioned, if it was more serious, it'd be harder. I don't need it to be super serious at all. It's more just the fact that if you want to do your capitalism movie, do your capitalism movie. If you want to do your movie with eating disorder satire in it, do your movie with eating disorder satire. It literally just felt like I was watching someone throw like 20 different causes at a movie and hope one of them stuck. And it just confused it. Because like when it's just doing the capitalism, when it's just doing this company's bullshit, and these people are bullshit, and this manager is bullshit, I can work with that. That's fine. It's when you start bringing in race and influencer culture. Because the thing with that was they set that sucker up the whole movie, and that scene's what, like 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You don't like the dancing pants? Is that what it is to the Bollywood song?
There's a lot of things I don't like about this movie, but anyway.
I was highly entertained by this movie.
I was not.
Even though it definitely goes off the rails a couple of times, but I like movies that tends to go a little stupid sometimes. Look at the stuff I've made.
I didn't even have to say
that,
it.
So we don't have
I was gonna say there was one about a dead dad in a car running people down.
That didn't make absolutely any sense at all.
No, it did not.
After we filmed and put together and I met it, I'm like, we totally forgot the parts of this that make sense. But nonetheless.
Oh,
Maybe next time I'll find something to like pants that I can put in there.
So I'll start.
Wait, did anybody else find it odd that like the pants cleaned up after itself? Like it like
right?
Slurped up all the blood off the floor?
Why?
But it didn't absorb it. It actually like drank it like through the
and then the
waist.
question becomes, okay, so is it getting revenge or is it a vampire?
Vampire.
Does it feed on the blood?
Hey, we forgot all about the vampire motorcycle movie. Remember that?
Oh, I mean, there's the vampire motorcycle movie. There's Christine.
I've never seen the vampire motorcycle movie.
I have one time, and I remember it being ridiculous, but I don't think I disliked it.
There was about a good 2 solid years that Carrick, my son, whenever we would see a old red car, he would say, "Dad, look, it's Christine." No, it's not.
Hey.
It's definitely not.
Well, if you bring it to a horror convention, it might be. So I'll come back to this particular thing in a minute, but right now I'm just going to say it. You're going to disagree with me on this, and I know it, and I don't care. Matt's going to disagree with me too on this when he hears this. Host may have been predictable, but at least I felt it was competently overall made. I'm giving it a 2. It really.
Saying Host is better than this?
Yes, I am.
Damn.
I don't know if I agree.
By about that much.
This was way more creative, though. And nobody nobody was forcing a pandemic on you during the time it was.
Let me be very clear. Yeah, to say that's the one thing. They're right with each other, because the thing is with Host, you have it pummeling you with pandemic, and zoom. So it has its own issues, but it took something and stuck with it. Like this, it's not that I hate it. I don't hate it. It's just I'm like, I don't understand why there's so much other stuff in it cluttering your story about a shitty company with bad pants. Like, and that was all it needed to be in my case. Like that was what killed it for me. Because by the end of this movie, I was just like, I'm sure like the kills are fine, and the CG is fine on the pants themselves dancing. But like by that point, I was just like, look, just end, because I don't want another random controversial topic to come up and just go away immediately. So that's just me, though. I know I'm alone on that, at least at that level of dislike of it.
I found it entertaining, and it was ridiculous, and I like ridiculous stuff. I like trauma, I like stuff like that. So therefore, I'm a little more forgiving, and I'm not going to focus too much on the low-key racism that's sometimes a little bit more high-key than low-key, and I'm just going to give it, for entertainment purposes, I'm going to give it a nice little, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Wow.
I like the blood. I like ridiculous stuff, out of left field.
The gore, it was entertaining. The kills were fun. Again, my favorite part of this was literally the interactions with the actual employees of the store. If it wasn't for that, I would give it a 2. But because of the interactions, I will give it a 2.5.
I can understand that.
Because it did take me a little bit back to my retail days.
Yeah.
And again, I do know some of these people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a movie about killer jeans called Slaxx. And it's not fucking good.
No.
Oh.
So about that.
It's not as bad as the Riho face scan here, by the way. Anybody see Riho's face?
Riho's face is way worse than this movie.
Even when it's blurry.
She looks like fucking Sloth.
What about Matt Jackson's Looks like he's been on the pipe needle or something, or the dope needle. Look at that. See the rings under his eyes.
In case it wasn't clear, Chuck never did get sent those AEW figures for review, so
I had to buy them.
So
brutal.
That does bring me to a point, though. So I brought up Host for a reason. What was the Rotten Tomatoes on Host, and still is, with 87 reviews for critics? 100% still. 87% from critics.
Ew.
How do you not have one douchebag that's like, you know what, I'm going to give it a bad score just to ruin this good score? Like,
Citizen Kane has a bad review now. It's just when, that was the whole thing for like a couple weeks. Citizen Kane got a bad review, so it's not 100% on Rotten Tomatoes anymore. And the audience review on that is 72%.
So what's Slaxx doing on Rotten Tomatoes?
So the audience score on Slaxx is 43.
Harsh.
And this is kind of why I also feel the way I do about it. The critic score is 97. And I was looking at some of the reviews, and it talks a lot in the reviews about how it discusses things like, eating disorders and this and that. I'm just saying there's a difference between doing it and doing it well, basically.
Let's not try to make this thing seem smart. It's not. It tries.
Exactly.
But it's a special needs movie, okay? It's like I'm rating it on a curve, okay? Because it can't help it. It tried, but it can't help it, all right?
I mean,
I'm basically giving it the participation award here, but I was entertained by the participation, so I'm giving it 3.5.
There was enough people writing. I only bring that up because there's enough of these reviews I looked at that were basically talking about it being, smart and, and I'm just like,
it thinks it's smart, but it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the biggest thing for me, and that's one of the things that sometimes I really can't stand.
Like it definitely has the potential when it tries to be smart, but it goes every fucking which way, though.
Yes, exactly.
This is the equivalent if me with my set of filmmaking skills decided one day that I'm going to make something with a little bit of social commentary on it, and
I would never want to watch that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's basically what happened here. Is somebody who obviously wasn't in the quite category to be doing such things decided they're going to make a statement, but they're just not on that level to make a statement.
So I do have a question, though, since we were talking about it, which is this is obviously not, because we've made that abundantly clear, even if you like it, like Chuck did, and were entertained by it, it's still obviously not what I'm about to ask, which is, what is your favorite killer inanimate object movie? Like, I was trying to think about it earlier on.
What's is it still considered an inanimate object? Remember the movie Pervert? Had that porn star Mary Carey in it.
I do know Pervert, yes.
Yeah, like that was
one of the three movies I know about that's about a killer disembodied penis.
Yeah, like that. Does that count? I mean, since it was a piece of a body, does that not count?
I mean, I'd say when it leaves the body, I guess it becomes kind of an object.
I like that movie a lot. That's a good one.
For what it is, like that's the thing. Like that's a good example. For what it is, it's trying to be a Russ Meyer movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's what it does. It does it fine. Like, I agree.
Why ain't that on Blu-ray? I've got the old Arrow DVD of it.
I have the original DVD.
Yeah, I don't even think I have my DVD. I think I watched Eli's.
I racked my brain for a bit because I know I have a different answer, but for right now, the only one that comes to mind, just probably for recency bias, is Amityville About Time. I really fucking like the clock movie.
Dollhouses and stuff. We can't forget that. It's funny you mention Amityville.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to go with The Lamp. The Killer Lamp is just good. It's so good.
Oh, ain't there what's that one movie? Remember The Outing or whatever it is? Remember that movie?
You mean the one with the killer genie, I think?
Yeah, remember that? That's like a lamp, wasn't it? Like killer
lamp? Yeah, they called it the lamp as well.
Yeah, they called
it.
Like, y'all boys ought to trade me y'all's old Arrow DVD.
Why? Why don't you buy them, Chuck?
Well, Chuck's a little pressed for cash at the moment.
Did you ever get that stimulus?
I did
that
get that
job at
stimulus.
Walmart?
Well, I don't know about the job at Walmart. I did get the stimulus though, and I had the stimulus for like 2 months. Didn't I? It was when I was, when I was basically married. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were still asking me for money, so I thought you never got it.
And I was selling you stuff. Okay, there's a difference, sir, in selling and asking for money.
You're asking to sell me things so you can get some money.
I have a whole new selection of stuff if you would like to be interested
in. Maybe.
It's about phone bill time. It's about the 18th. Somebody's making about $25 here about the next 4 days.
I don't know if I can help you in the next 4 days.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe around the 20th.
Oh, well, if somebody would buy a female prisoner set on discount level.
He's talking to you, James.
No, I know he is, and I don't think so. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wouldn't be the full price I asked those Facebook people.
We know. You've posted it in the chat like 10 times.
I'm not that kind of friend.
One of these days I need to watch The Lift, the one about the killer elevator. I really need to watch that movie. I do too. I just need to sit down and watch it.
Ain't there 2 of those? There's like The Lift, and there's like ain't there like an American version?
Yep, he made it. Yeah, with Naomi Watts. It's called no, the original I think was Down, and then the one with Naomi Watts is the American remake.
Yeah. I watched them when they come out, but on Blu-ray from Blue Underground, but I haven't watched them since.
Oh wait, I know what the best one is. Blood Car.
I love
Blood Car. Blood Car is great.
I forgot about Blood Car.
Man has to kill people to fuel his car that runs on human blood.
Best people can go for that, right? How's gas prices, everybody? How's gas prices?
That was not an intentional thing, but sure.
Well,
people are dumb.
Obviously. Yeah, people are dumb. Well, I'd say there's like we're running out of like any movie I've ever made, and maybe people panic and buy them all up, right?
Apparently that works. Like, what was it?
Yeah. Company's been there for years.
Ronan was doing a clearance sale on Code Red stuff, and then, as I pointed out to Matt just after it, like a week later, some of the titles that they were doing in that sale got announced as slipcovered represses from Kino.
Imagine this now. Imagine being one of those people that spent like $100 for Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, and then all of a sudden it's getting a re-release
with the slipcover. With the slipcover.
I've still never watched that. I don't think I have.
I bought it at Diabolic when it was. I think it was on sale. I think he sold a few Code Red titles cheap. I got it and Hills Have Eyes 3, which obviously isn't the Hills Have Eyes 3. It's something else.
Mind Ripper.
But I thought both those were decent though, but for what they were.
Mind Ripper's all right.
I only paid like $10 each on them. I think you had a good sale going on them there for a while.
I've got a German. I think it's a DVD set. I don't think it was Blu-ray wasn't around then. Of the Hills Have Eyes, and it's all 3 movies. It's a pretty cool set.
Mm-hmm.
It's got an awesome interview with Wes Craven on it.
The best ones are the ones that come with movies that are definitively, absolutely 100% not part of the series.
How much noise did that incoming call I just had to decline on my end here do? Did it make a lot of racket?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, good, yeah. Captain Groom's trying to call me while I'm live on Podcaster.
He wants to sacrifice you to the hippies.
To fuck off.
He just got back. He got invited to the Impact taping tonight. Obviously, they're not going to let him wrestle, but he got to do like some maybe backstage shenanigans.
He's trying to leak spoilers to you, Chuck.
Yeah, I imagine like last time one of the guys that we know went to that, and they did that press conference pull apart, with Kenny Omega and Rich Swann. They got to be the guys that pulled them apart. So 15 minutes bang board.
Yeah, basically.
Yep, I've never watched Impact, but yeah. Hey,
anytime you want to, it's on Twitch. They just literally sit there and play it repeatedly on Twitch for ever.
I just want to know who sits there and makes it go on repeat for everybody. Who's in control of that? Where's the automated system?
originally they had a channel on Pluto TV that
They
literally just played. I think they do, yeah. And it just played old pay-per-views, more recent episodes of Impact, and then yeah, they just would give the stuff to Pluto, I guess, and Pluto would shove it in the middle of their lineup somewhere.
Yeah.
That works.
Whatever works.
So you were about to say something, W.
Dario
Argento 4K.
Yeah, so in the long time since we recorded, Arrow had to put out a statement because their Donnie Darko 4K was having maybe an issue, and they're still kind of looking into it. For the record, I have not received my Girl Murdered in a Park replacement disc yet, but it's only halfway through the month. But they announced a fair bit. So they did, come on now. So many freaking postings by the good people at Arrow. God.
Which 4K are they putting out?
So they're doing Demons and Demons 2 in the UK versions of 4Ks. But because they're UK, like W, for example, wanted to buy one and from Diabolic, and that was not a feasible option.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like the old Arrow, the first Arrow,
Demons.
The first Demons set that was the 2-pack was not sold at Diabolic either. But all of their other UK only titles, Jesse does get. It's just Demons.
Is that because
I think it's a Synapse deal.
Yeah, Synapse owns the rights to Demons in the US.
Fuck
them.
It probably keeps Don May happy.
Don May's like, don't do it. Don't sell them.
Movie called Threshold, the Gai Meijin trilogy, which is the Japanese kaiju movies about the giant golem-like guy. 4K of True Romance.
I have those, by the way.
Pre-ordered.
True Romance 4K, also available in steelbook slipcases from Zavi, because of course they are. Vengeance Trails, which is a combination of things. It's Massacre Time and Banditos and 4 spaghetti westerns in one box set.
Pre-ordered.
And in exactly the same way as Bird with the Crystal Plumage, a 4K Ultra HD of Cat of Nine Tails with a alternate edition 1000 limited with original theatrical poster art.
Pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Thank you. There you go.
I hope True Romance looks good because it never has looked good. It never looked good on Blu-ray. It never looked good on DVD.
Shut the fuck up, Chuck.
Yeah, I love the movie, but the Blu-ray looked terrible. Soft.
I've got high hopes for this. Shut up.
Well, maybe they found a source or something, and they're going to do the right thing by it.
I absolutely love True Romance.
I do too. They ought to like do a Tarantino cut of it though. They ought to do an out of order one like he had it in the script.
Dawn of the Discs mentioned that they found, I forget where it was at, but there was a quote from someone who is working on an apparent deep red 4K for Arrow as well.
No, I'm surprised that wasn't out first.
So that will probably be down the line somewhere.
Day one purchase.
Oh, I know it is. There's also been a postcard found in a new release from Arrow for a movie called Sailor Suit and Machine Gun, in which a teenage delinquent schoolgirl named Izumi Hoshi inherits her father's Yakuza clan.
Okay, that was in one of the Arrow titles I got the other day. But
that sounds fun.
So, I know, doesn't it? Like, god damn, man.
I got my Santa Sangre or whatever 4K the other day too.
I got mine in, and I got the Battle Royale box set.
I need that. I wish they'd send me that. 4K, right?
You could always ask. I
could ask.
4K? I think it's a UK only release.
It is.
Oh, then I probably won't get that then. I do wish they'd send me the Donnie Darko one though. How long has that been?
They gotta fix it first.
It's been out for a couple of weeks.
Hey, maybe I can still get it. I love Donnie Darko. It's one of my favorite movies. I've got the Arrow DVD or the Arrow Blu-ray set they released. Isn't like it was long ago they put that out, was it?
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't that long ago.
I've also got the.
Not to interrupt you. I wonder if this means that Inglourious Basterds will be a 4K when it comes out.
Honestly, probably whenever it comes
They
out.
They ought to just do all Tarantino's movies on 4K.
That's what they're probably doing. That's what they're building towards. I imagine.
That'd be great.
How many of his movies are on 4K? Is it just Once Upon a Time in the West? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah.
I almost said Once Upon a Time in the West.
Who owns? Disney probably owns Pulp Fiction, though, right? Miramax.
Probably, which means you'll never see it.
Which is the one. I feel like they might put that out since it's Pulp Fiction.
I mean, it would fucking sell like crazy.
I mean, the last time Miramax owned it, but Echo Bridge got it. That's why it was coming out on Blu-ray and stuff. Was Echo Bridge got a whole bunch of Miramax shit.
They didn't get Pulp Fiction though, because I think Lionsgate may have Pulp Fiction.
They did at one point, but I felt like they bought it from them.
And then Lionsgate has Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, that's not surprising. That's been a thing. Yeah.
And then Miramax they was the ones that had Jackie Brown, obviously, and Pulp Fiction. I don't remember who put Kill Bill out. Who was Kill Bill's distributor back in the day?
Probably Miramax.
Maybe it was. Maybe that's where that Miramax is too. Which means, Arrow Video would be the only hope of ever getting that whole bloody affair, right? Like you realize that.
I mean, technically, there is another company that would do it because they've already proven that they'll sit there and repiece together stuff, and that'd be Vinegar Syndrome. But I doubt they'd pull that off at a 2002 thing.
That's so much money for that, probably. But then you got more recent stuff like Hateful Eight and all that stuff was all Anchor Bay, which whoever owns that now. So
I think so.
I feel like that's back to Lionsgate or Disney. Ain't it?
So some other stuff. Second Sight has said they have the Hitcher. Everyone keeps wondering where the hell the Rucker Hauer Hitcher is. But they're doing a 4K restoration, but they don't actually have original elements, so they're kind of having to piece together from what they've got as best they can. So it's in process, but...
I wonder which American place will get that, because that'd probably be... Second Sight's pretty bad about region locking their stuff. A lot of companies just oopsie daisy leaves it open, but they don't.
I don't think I've ever bought from Second Sight.
They've got that's the only thing I have.
They did Dawn of the Dead.
They did do it. They did Dawn of the Dead, and I have the. They did the Host, the special edition of Host, and they're doing Mungo Lake or Lake Mungo or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's it.
And then they're doing good stuff here lately. I got everybody was talking about how much the Arrow Reanimator was going for, so I sold my Arrow Reanimator. But it had the inner positive cut or whatever it was called on it, whatever version of it. But I still have that on a Second Sight Blu-ray. It's just region locked, but at least I still have it because they put out cool stuff. They put out the Basket Case trilogy and everything for it. All locked.
German company is doing Hills Have Eyes on 4K Ultra HD. So apparently someone will announce that eventually in America, probably Arrow.
I just remember when the first Blu-ray of that come out, how awful it looked. And it was released by Image, you remember? And everybody was like, well, this is as good as it's going to get. It's good as it's going to get. And then here come Arrow with the actual good version of it on Blu-ray. So I don't know what happened there, if they found a print or knew what they were doing or what. But I remember how disappointed I was when I first got a Blu-ray player. One of the first titles I ever got was the Hills Have Eyes, and it looked terrible.
Second Sight's also doing updates right now because they're going to be doing Dog Soldiers. They have the materials, so they're working on it. Also, Martin, they're working on that too.
Yeah.
So,
where is Martin in America? Where's Martin? Why hasn't Martin been put out?
The last release of Martin was a region unlocked Arrow DVD release.
Oh, okay.
I know because that's one of the few things I was given to review while I was still at the website. I still have it.
Do you think that Arrow will be the ones releasing the new Romero movie they dug out and completed to put on Shudder?
If they put it on Shudder, I wouldn't be shocked if RLGA did it.
Yeah, I wish it'd be Arrow though, because they did that Romero set, for some of his early films that it was really nice. Which I'm interested in this. I don't know, about what's it called? It's called The Carnival. What's this movie called? Anybody remember?
Amusement Park.
The Amusement Park. Okay. Was it ever officially finished, or did they somehow piece together their own?
They pieced it together, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got this written down anywhere for notes, but apparently somebody's going to be making the last unpublished script that Romero did for a zombie movie.
I've heard about that. Yeah, I forget what it's called. But yeah.
One of you
It's
posted
not,
it in the group.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing. A part of me wants to say, well, it's not going to be the same.
No.
But the thing is even Romero's last few zombie movies wasn't the same.
No.
No.
So I'm open to it.
Also, Kino is going to be doing a 4K eventually of Eastern Promises. Cronenberg.
It's a good movie.
I just got the Blu-ray of that from Australia.
I know that Matt is excited about MVD doing One Dark Night for MVD Rewind. They're also doing The Dark.
I have One Dark Night on Blu-ray. I got it for $5 at a bargain hunt. It's the old Kino Code Red DVD. Is it going to be the same transfer?
I would of One Dark Night. It says, I believe it said on it that it was the transfer was from Code Red licensed, but they had extra special features, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically what I've got already, but it's got a cool new cover though, which they had released that already with another slip cover,
Yeah.
So yeah.
So going back to my earlier mention of not having my replacement discs yet, hey, if you want to roll the dice with a company that probably will produce something that's slipshod, Full Moon in September is doing Joe D'Amato's 1978 movie Crazy Nights. It's some Mondo movie apparently about disco and Rome, like Italian nightclubs. I couldn't tell you why the fuck the Full Moon is releasing this. Like,
Full Moon in the latest edition of Full Moon Going to Full Moon, if you get 1 year subscription to Full Moon Direct, you get to pick 10 Blu-rays or 10 DVD if you're choosing to have for free.
Yeah, I know. I get that ad all the time on Facebook.
And how much is 1 year subscription to Full Moon?
Oh God, I don't know.
Is it over $100?
If for a year,
that much?
shock me.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, if it's a month, it being $10 a month, I think, which it is, then that'd be $120 if they didn't put any discount on it. So $100 would not shock me.
I feel like you could probably take that $100 and buy
you guys keep talking.
Anyway.
Oh sure.
I feel like you could buy those Blu-rays for the amount of money you'd spend on the thing for a year.
Well, right, and plus, particularly if you wait, you can buy 10 Full Moon Blu-rays around. Pick your holiday during the year and get them for half price. So you'd easily save money that way.
And I don't feel like I'd be using the Full Moon streaming service that much anyhow, because like basically any Full Moon movie worth watching is on Tubi, ain't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, anything else like that they're supposed to get, like they said they have that licensing deal for Frankenhooker and Maniac Cop, 2 and 3, I think.
Yeah, well, I've got those.
So I mean, you've got, yeah, it's not that you're going to look for them.
I did see where Blue Underground is finishing up. I think their Maniac Cop 2 4K episode.
Yes, they are finishing that. Was one of the things. Yep, Maniac Cop 2 and 3. Don't Go in the House is going to be coming from Severin eventually. They are working on it. Nearing the end of restoration. Should be coming out in a month or 2 or 3. Massacre Video, because reasons, is doing Men Behind the Sun 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
That's something that needed to exist in the world.
They're releasing a lot of strange things, really.
Yeah, very much so. Vinegar Syndrome, apparently, according to a Twitter post from someone being interviewed for it, they're doing the trauma movie Girls' School Screamers eventually, which is one of those ones that come with those great old trauma trailers where it's like they say things the weirdest possible way. Like if you've ever seen the trailer for Bloodsucking Freaks, where the trailer goes normally for most of it, and then every time they get to the actual point where they name the movie, it suddenly cuts to blood-sucking freaks, basically for no reason. So
I'll do that for my next trailer for my next movie, just randomly.
Because the idea is it was originally it was the Strange Torture Show, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah.
And so when they got the rights to it, they said, well, we can't call it that. Fuck it. They're doing 2 Franco movies, at least, in the Severin sale. So no announcement of what that is yet. Because neither Severin nor Vinegar Syndrome has done much on that front, although Vinegar Syndrome has mentioned that they've shown the artwork for their Rene Cardona box set, which looks good, and the artwork for their televised Terror box set, which looks like artwork.
Yeah. I was going to say I got the review thing sent the other day from Vinegar Syndrome, and they sent like to reviewers the what was it called, the
televised Terror or Renee Cardona?
What was the horror thing, the box set they put out? What was it called? Backwoods Horror?
Oh, Homegrown Horrors. Yeah.
Homegrown Horrors. And they're sending out the movies, but obviously they're not sending the big box.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think they only sent me like 2 out of the 3 of the movies, which disappoints me though, because the one I really wanted I didn't get.
Well, like, I mean, honestly, if you ask them, they'll probably be like, "Oh shit, sorry," but no, I've seen people talk about them and be like, "Well, it's so terrible," and then someone else goes, "What the fuck were you expecting? They're like shot on video, homegrown horror. Like, were you expecting something different from what you got?"
I'll have to go. They sent me 2 of them, I think, but they didn't send me the third, so I'm gonna have to try to double back on that because I'd like to cover them on the show eventually. I don't remember the names of actually what they sent me though, but they did send me some of
them. What you missed was they basically talked about Men Behind the Sun 1 through 3 coming from Massacre, why?
They'll sell. They'll make a decent chunk of change on them.
Severin doing Don't Go Into the Woods. I mean,
Don't open the door, ain't it?
Yeah, Don't Go Open the Door. Sorry, yeah. Vinegar Syndrome has Don't Go in the Woods. Franco's coming from Severin at the end of the month for the sale, but no one knows anything about the sales. And we, just before you got back, we started talking about Vinegar Syndrome's box art for Cardona series.
I caught that. Yes.
Yeah. I don't understand it, because every other box set they've done, like,
it's awesome.
They've gone to the same general type of people, same general artists, and
I wonder how this came to be then.
I get that they're like going for like an old school, like someone called it comic book style. I can get that, but you don't have to go that far down that road. Like, it's a real weird choice. But yeah, that is my haphazardly slapped together version of the news.
Fair enough. I had to go empty out the dehumidifier. We didn't record last week because my basement flooded, and it's still a little damp.
That's correct. Yes.
It's literally been a week, and it's still a little bit wet.
Yeah,
that'll happen.
It was over there beeping at me. I don't know if you guys could hear it or not, but it was real fucking annoying, so I had to go take care of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If flooding happens, it's rough. You got to kind of really get on it quick. I've had it happen a few times.
It sucks. I mean, it is what it is. No real damage. Had to throw some stuff away, but it wasn't anything important. So, it's whatever.
The only thing I didn't really mention is that apparently Miami Connection is getting a vinyl from Vinegar Syndrome, probably through their partner label.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, basically. And I don't fully know what that means, in terms of, like, other than just they're getting a release, but...
Well, I've got my old Draft House Blu-ray, so...
Same. I mean, the movie ain't...
I don't feel like the movie's worth going and buying again. I mean, unless it's like, well, this is a 4K version now. So.
No, but Enjoy the Ride Records is awesome. They've released a lot of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really hate Synapse's new website. It makes it impossible to search for anything at all.
This kills me. Like, Synapse will take forever to do anything, and then they'll just put out some random movie. Like, the last thing they put out was that thing that In Time, I think it was called. Running Time, yeah, which is basically, it happens in the span of like an hour and a half or hour and 10 minutes, whatever it is. It's a bank robber gone bad type thing, with Bruce Campbell, where he just gets out of prison and tries to rob something as soon as he gets out and it goes bad. But it's all like, for the most part, one big continuous shot.
I mean, continuous shot movies can be impressive.
It's different. It wasn't bad. It's just like so random. Like there's Synapses puts that out of nowhere, and meanwhile we're still probably waiting another 5 years for the Blind Dead box set or whatever.
I'm gonna say the Kindred at the very least will probably be out within the next year or so. But
I'm starting to realize that I will probably be, since I'm 38 now, I'll probably be 40 years old when these Blind Dead movies come out from Synapse. And how long ago was it they announced these? Like a couple years ago?
Well, like a few weeks ago, they announced that they were working on more and that they had done some stuff and they were kind of figuring out. So they're gonna probably do them one at a fucking time, first of all, and then release it, and then eventually be like, "Here's a box set."
And they made it way harder on themselves than they had to.
Yeah, he mentions that too.
What if we do this? Oh, we've done it. Now we can't stop.
What if we splice in these extra scenes in a different language? That worked so well for Full Moon. Unintentional.
I was going to say. They got that from Uncle Charles Band.
I saw a picture a couple days ago, I don't know if anybody else saw it, of Laura Gemser doing makeup work on Troll 2 set. I
saw that picture.
No.
Yeah, and it made me think about the fact that Full Moon's going to release some Manuel movies, and that's going to be a hilarious clusterfuck.
I don't know how Full Moon got the rights or anything. If they even got the rights for them, they could just be doing stuff they don't have rights for at this point.
Well, I know that Severin has physically come out and said now that they're going to do another Emmanuel box. Mm-hmm. Eventually. They are working on it. They're restoring stuff for it. So whatever Full Moon's going to release, I guarantee you Severin has the rights for other stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, it's going to be the same transfer the Full Moon has, correct?
If Vinegar Syndrome does it? On a certain movie, you mean? Or the ones that are you referring to like what the Tubi?
Severin.
You're saying when Severin does their own Emmanuel box.
Correct, because two of the films are going to be. Two of the films in this.
That those two are going to be in there.
I thought they said that they were going to be in there.
I'm not sure how that's going to work. That's the thing. You might be right, but if that is the case, I would hope that they weren't the same transfer because
that's what I'm getting at. Yeah,
that's not their usual style. That's very much not their usual style.
Because I don't want that.
It's odd these days. Wasn't Rad the same transfer on the Mill Creek Blu-ray the same as Vinegar Syndrome?
I don't know.
I heard it was. To my knowledge, but I mean Vinegar Syndrome will play ball with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Severin does their own damn restorations. MVD doesn't. So.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Rad Blu-ray. 4K.
Yeah. That's worth a lot of money.
I'll sell it.
How is Siege, Chuck?
Huh?
Wait, no, Siege isn't out yet, is it? Or did you get that from Severin already? Siege.
I don't know.
I think you might have gotten the last batch. No, you just got Grizzly, you said, yeah. How does Day of the Animals look? Day of the Animals is such a weird movie.
I haven't put it on there yet, but I got Day of the Animals. I got Blood something. I don't remember.
Day of the Animals. Deep Blood.
Deep Blood, yeah. And then I got Santa Sangre, and then I got the Grizzly that I watched last time. Grizzly looked fine. I mean, it looked a little old, but I mean, it is. Yeah,
it is.
So, yeah. But it was okay.
I didn't know if I got to get rid of my Media Blasters 2 disc of Grizzly or not.
Well, this looks better than that, I'm sure. It's got good little extras on it and all that. Like Day of the Animals, is that the movie where like the animals are really hurting people on set?
No, you're thinking of Roar.
Oh, okay.
Roar was the one where they were like, "Fuck it, we can make a movie with an actual tiger. Why not?"
But I got that stuff. I got the Final Countdown from Blue Underground, which I think is a 4K, and I got a Ghost Waits by Arrow. They actually sent me the steelbook of 13 Monkeys, which is odd because they are just 12 Monkeys. What the monkey movie?
12 Monkeys.
They had sent me.
12.
Yeah, they had sent me the old they'd sent me the regular version when it came out like last year. Now they sent me the steelbook, which I've never got a steelbook from them for review, so that's new territory there. And then they sent me some Invisible Man movies from Japan that Arrow did, which
that was
those things they sent that to me and it was lost in the mail for like a month, and then it just shows up and the case has a crack in it, but it's here. I don't know if I like them or not, though.
Should be interesting.
Yeah. I've been getting more stuff here lately. There for a while, it was kind of dry, but I've been getting some interesting stuff. I got the little things from Warner Brothers, which is decent. It's nowhere on the level of 7 or anything, but it's decent. You know, a lot of stuff I need to get to watching eventually.
There's a lot of stuff I like to watch. I just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, same.
Anyway, it's my bedtime.
Yep.
And I have to make lunch for tomorrow.
Yeah. So we'll be back. We'll be back next week with something.
So about that, hey Chuck, how easy do you have access to HBO Max?
I could probably get it.
Because if you could get access to a free trial, we're talking about Mortal Kombat for next week if you're interested.
Sure. That's fine.
If you can watch it. If not, we'll figure something else out.
Yeah, just let us know.
I got a friend with HBO Max.
Cool.
So I think I can.
That's how I saw it.
That's how I saw it.
Oh. So,
all right, fellas.
That seems doable.
Next week, Mortal Kombat.
Or something else, we'll see. Yeah.
Or something else.
Playing Mortal Kombat, though.
Thanks for watching.
Exactly. We'll just sit here and play Mortal Kombat for a while.
So we'll stream us playing Mortal Kombat, yes.
Biggest show we've ever done.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, all that bullshit. And June's just around the corner, and we all know what that means.
Yes, it does. I need Amityville more than I thought I would right now after Slaxx.
And happy early birthday to James, but when you guys watch this, it'll be long past his birthday.
Post that, yes.
Long past.
Long past.
Long past.
I work slow, sorry.
It's fine, man.
Oh, shut up, Chuck.
Yeah.